You might be feeling down on yourself because it's January 22nd and you've already fallen off the wagon in terms of your new year, new me resolutions. But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you don't feel like a failure, because the truth is that yes, you did fail, but you are not a failure. Feeling something is not the same as being that thing. You are not a failure. So take a step back, examine what went wrong. What was it that, is there something that you could have done differently? Is there something that interrupted your flow? Did you not plan well? Like, look at yourself first. Don't be so quick to blame others. Don't be so quick to blame the circumstances, because here's the truth. Every woman is given 24 hours in a day. Every woman is given the life that she has. And our job is to use our time and use our resources wisely. Very often, what we can do is fall into the trap of making excuses that put the blame somewhere else. No, I said that to say that everything that goes wrong is not your fault. And very often, it's a combination of the two. It's a combination of how we show up and our environment. And where wisdom comes in is that when you sit and you decide how you're going to plan your life, you have that appointment with yourself and you have that appointment with God. You strategize and you harmonize. A lot of women are seeking balance, and I shared this on a call recently. A lot of women are seeking balance, and let me tell you what balance is. Balance is a whole entire lie. This is balance. See how my two hands are even? This is balance. What balance is going to cause you to do is try to keep one thing or group of things on this scale and one thing or group of things on this scale. How? How does that work? When you are a wife and a mother and a daughter and a sister and an employee and a business owner and a minister at church and on a board for the PTA and a leader in your community, and you're doing all these different things. How do you balance all of that and at the same time just be yourself? Because that's necessary too. How are you going to be yourself in the midst of all that? You don't create balance. And this is where so many women fall off. My house is a wreck. It's a total wreck right now. Do not come over. Do not come over. But guess what? The space that I am in spiritually and the place that I am in mentally, it's a 15 out of 10 right now. So there can't be balance in my life at this point, because there's certain things that I have to do to set the stage for the rest of my year. So if I'm caught up on the appearance of things, what happens is I now neglect the woman within, the same woman who has to carry out all the hopes and the dreams and the plans that I have for 2025 and beyond. So right now, my choice, hear me, my choice is to create harmony, is to create as much harmony as I can. Harmony allows you to add as many things as possible as you want. Balance just deals with this and this. So you're going to have two things at the end of the day. So what you try to do, like they talk about work-life balance. You have work here and you have life here. What happens at work? You have all kinds of things going on at work. What happens in your life? You have all kinds of things going on in your life. So imagine yourself piling on all these things into one little scale here, and then piling on all these things into another little scale here. It's not gonna work. Think of harmony like music. You can have harmony with two instruments. You can have harmony with 2,000 instruments. When the piece of music is constructed in such a way that everyone gets to play, everyone gets to sound good, and everything sounds good together. But in order to create that, what you do is you build. So there's a sheet that I would have shared. I've shared it a few times, and I'm just gonna pull it up again to show you. So if you've ever seen this sheet, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? It says start where you are, and it deals with 12 areas. This is the first thing I do whenever I meet with anyone. It starts with 12 areas. You look at 12 areas of your life and you determine which is the area that is most important to me, which is the area, after you've rated them, you determine which is the area that's most important to me right now, which is the area I need to work on first, so that everything else is going to be affected. And everything else is going to be improved. Affected, meaning positively affected by what I do. For me, this month, and I recommend that you pick an area every month. That's what I'm doing in my own life. Every single month, you pick an area, and then the next month, since you've already established a habit, you already would have had a full month with whatever area it is that you have chosen to concentrate on in that month. The next month, you stack on it. You stack on it in such a way that it creates harmony, and you're giving yourself a month to adjust. I don't care what anybody tells you. You cannot change your life in 5 hours. You cannot change your life with one book or one program or I don't know, whatever it is that they're trying to sell that's a quick fix. It does not work that way. You may be able to come up with a strategy in half an hour. You may be able to come up with a strategy in 2 hours or after a vision day. Absolutely. But you have to live that out, right? So when you're done, when you've walked away and you have the vision board, you have the strategy, and you have all these things, you have to walk it out. And what happens is we want this big change. We want to lose the weight, we want to heal our relationships, we want to get a better job, we want to spend more time with our children, we want to do all these different things. We're like, okay, it's 2025, this is my year. I want to focus on me. I want to go back to school. I want to start a business. I want to do all these things. All these things can't happen all at once. So we start with a foundation. You determine what that foundation is. For me, it's spirituality. I am entering into a new season of my life, and I have to be like, this is not optional. This is some next level stuff. Where God is taking me requires me to be a completely different version of myself. And I had a powerful session today in my journal by myself. And I discovered that there are things that have followed me from 2024 into 2025. And there are things that I don't want to be in my life anymore. And there are things that I had a purging. And there are things that I let go of. And let me tell you something about letting go. Here's the thing that we don't talk about, letting go. It's great to say let go. But when you have held on to certain things for so long, if you have held on to pain, you have held on to shame, you have held on to guilt, you have held on to unforgiveness, when you let go of those things, you feel like a shell of yourself. This is the part people don't talk about. We don't talk about the emptiness that comes when you let go. Because for some women, the only thing that's keeping them going is the pain. The only thing that's keeping them from showing up is the shame. The only thing that's keeping them from not allowing themselves to be taken advantage of is unforgiveness. And a vision that comes from a place like that is not a vision that you can sustain, because that vision, no matter how good the end result seems, yes, you might get the education. Yes, you might even start a new relationship. Yes, you might get the job. Yes, you might start prospering in all these different ways in your family outwardly, but your soul is going to suffer. So one of the things I really encourage women to do, and I'm doing it myself, I'm dealing with the residue of my own disappointment from 2024, because I don't want that walking with me through the rest of 2025. So January 22nd, 2025 was a turning point. This was a turning point in my life for me to reconcile some things so I could rewrite my story. This is very real. This is beyond the magazine cutouts and the stickers and the vision board party with the wine and the nice pastries and all these things. Those things are great. Don't get me wrong. Actually, someday I want to host a few of those, but we're going to go so much deeper. So if you are dealing with disappointment, I want to encourage you, take some time and literally write out. Don't just write the vision, but write what makes you feel like a victim. And I know that might sound like the last thing that you want to do, but this is the beginning of it. Write what makes you feel like a victim so you can replace it with a vision that makes you feel victorious. And that's what her victorious vision is about. This is what I really want to encourage women to do. Walk away from who you were. Walk away from what you've experienced. Walk away from the disappointment, the hurt, the shame, all these things, because a lot of women are creating vision boards that are based in escape. They want to escape the pain that they were feeling. They want to escape that shame and that guilt and that bitterness. And it feels good in the moment, but whatever you create from a place of hurt is going to end up hurting you. And as a woman who has gone through her own disappointment and is still going through her own healing, because we're always healing on some level, there are levels of this healing. A woman who has created vision boards from a place of pain and created vision boards from a place of purpose, I promise you, when you create a vision board from a place of purpose, it is a whole different story. It is empowering. It empowers you and it empowers everyone around you. It elevates you and it elevates everyone around you because you are actually getting better. So I hope this helps. If you have already created a vision board, go back to it. As a matter of fact, have you looked at that vision board, the vision board you created in December or earlier this month? Have you looked back at it to remind yourself, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I said I want. Have you looked back at it? Or are you just going with the flow and expecting things to work out as you go along? So we have to examine ourselves, and we can't be afraid to examine ourselves, because without examination, there is no evolution. There is no new you until you look at the old you and you decide what's coming with you and what's staying in the past. So I'm saying this to say, I want to leave you with a challenge for today. And this is something I've just done in my own journal. And this is the overflow of what I've just done that I want to impart to you and I want to release to you. That you write down what are the things that have disappointed you in the past that you are releasing. You are releasing them They're not coming with you. From this point onward, they are not coming with you. Write those things down. Everything that has left you feeling like a victim in life, write it down and replace it with a vision of what you want to see. And even further, pray into it and replace it with what you believe that God is going to restore in your life. Would you do that? I hope you do. I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey, and I will talk to you soon.